Hi, I wanted to make a quick video, uh, and the subject of the video is narcissism. Now, I'm not going to go into describing narcissism or how it forms or all those things, although it is fascinating. What I will say is how to use narcissists to heal your own emotional wounding. So, everybody will tell you stay away from a narcissist, you know, like they're toxic people, and I don't disagree, right? But what I realized is that narcissists, they actually provide quite a big gift, right? So what I mean by that is, if you ever noticed around a narcissist, you feel triggered quite a bit, right? So narcissist triggers the shit out of you. It's almost like they know what buttons to push, and they push it, but they don't acknowledge the fact that they're pushing buttons. They pretend as if they're just having a normal conversation, right? They will imply certain things, right? That either you're not very smart, or you're dirty, or you're um, uh, the thing that you are most vulnerable about. They will say something that it will have a little bit of truth in it, right? And the rest is assumptions. But the assumption is really disconnected from you, which means that they will assume that you are being a certain way, but that assumption, they will see it as complete truth, right? So, for example, if you you did something, um, you forgot something, you forgot to bring something, or you didn't realize something, right? Which happens to all of us, right? But the assumption is that you did it on purpose, for example, right? Without the consideration of you as a person who doesn't really do things on purpose, right? And so, if you want to be seen in a accurate way, you're going to start proving yourself. You're going to start telling the person details that they're omitted from their analysis or view of you, right? So you're like, no, that's not what happened. I did forget, but it wasn't on purpose, and this was involved, and it's almost like it comes right over their head. They can't hear you, right? And the more you talk, the more guilty you sound, the less powerful you feel. Like, you just feel like you're yelling, and the words are not really meeting them. They're not really seeing you because they're not really interested in seeing you, right? So that's the frustration. Now, what do we do with that? Now, here's what I want to offer you guys. A narcissist will push your buttons. They know what buttons to push because they can feel your vulnerability. Now, you yourself might not be aware of your vulnerability. So, when a narcissist pushes your buttons, the narcissist will expose your weak points, right? So, for example, if they imply something, or they have this assumption that they feel is the truth, or whatever it might be, if you react to it, if you get triggered by it, you know that that is something you need to work on. That is something that you need to experience within yourself, right? So, how do you do that? Because if you react, if you try to change their mind, which is impossible, you've lost. You're not gonna get anything from them, and you feel like shit afterwards, right? So what I suggest is this, and this is complete gold. The reason why we get triggered by a narcissist is because we have an expectation for the narcissist to see us, to hear us, to care about us, to acknowledge us, to value us. All of these expectations that most likely we didn't get as children, right? So if you find narcissist in your life, probably that you were raised by a narcissist, right? Or you had a strong narcissistic presence growing up. So when you have trauma with the narcissist, and that a big trauma is usually not being seen, not being heard, or seen inaccurately, right? Or uh, some sort of negative thing projected onto you from a caregiver. Uh, and so you're in this perpetual cycle of trying to prove yourself. And that's exactly what the narcissist wants, to get control. That is why they push your buttons, so that you could go into this pattern of trying to prove yourself, and then they can just take that and do whatever they want with you, because you are out of your emotional balance. And so if you take your focus away from trying to prove yourself to them, away from trying to get that thing that you will never get, they will never give it to you. I'm sorry. A narcissist will never give it to you. Okay? You take that and you look at the expectation you have of them, and just feel the expectation. Just do that. Like, I expect you to see me accurately. I expect you to treat me with respect. I expect you to validate my feelings. I expect you to care about me. I expect you to love me. I expect you to um, uh, be loyal to me. So whatever expectations you have, right? Now, the first thing is just own your expectation. Like, the trigger happens. Ow, that's what? I want to rip their head off. What am I expecting? I'm expecting them to be courteous, to be considerate, whatever it is. Feel your expectation, right? Like, let yourself feel the expectation. Now, once you feel the expectation, the next layer underneath, that's where the pain is. That's where the fear is, right? So when you feel your expectation and you pull it back from them, you already are not going to react. You're not going to try to change them, right? And that's the whole idea, is to take your emotional energy and take it back from them. And then you see right through their bullshit. It's magic. You see right through them, that all they're doing is poking you just to get a reaction, so they can control you, so then they can feel safe, right? Because ultimately narcissists don't. They you know, they've got a broken part in them that they can't operate any other way. So look at the trigger, whatever you're triggered, feel the expectation. Notice, what am I expecting from them, right? And once you pull your expectation back, you give them permission to look at you this any way they want, to see you whatever they want, and just bring that validation back to yourself, because you are the only person that knows who you are, that can validate yourself. Yeah. So notice the expectation, and that is the key. Feel the expectation. And if you can slip underneath to feel the trauma of not getting whatever you needed growing up, whether it was being seen, validated, loved, whatever that is under the expectation, that pain, right? If you feel that pain, you can feel that anger. You feel it, you release it, and you're no longer in this losing battle, in this stupid dance with a narcissist. It's a pointless thing. Hopefully you got some value from this video. Please comment, like if you liked it, or don't like if you don't like it. But I hope you got some value from this. Till next time.